Haisam Hassan is edging closer to Parkhead, and Sean Maloney has given us the clearest transfer update yet on where things stand. We also have a warm dressing room insight into new signing Casper Tengstedt from one of his new teammates, a concerning update on Johnny Kenny's future at the club, a sad goodbye to a former Celtic youngster who never quite made it at Parkhead, and the inside story on how the coaching staff kept Jota's spirits up through the longest year of his career. Let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Sean Maloney has given a warm and revealing insight into the role Mark Fotheringham has played in keeping Jota connected to the Celtic squad throughout his lengthy recovery from injury. Jota has not played a competitive game since suffering a serious knee injury during Celtic's title-clinching win over Dundee United at Tannadice in April of last year. His recovery has been a long and difficult one, spanning more than 16 months and requiring him to spend part of the rehabilitation process back in Portugal. What Maloney revealed this morning is that the coaching staff went to considerable lengths to make sure Jota never felt cut off from the group during that time. Daily contact was maintained between the club's medical staff and the player throughout his time in Portugal. O'Neill, Maloney and Fotheringham all stayed in regular touch through video calls, making sure a player of his quality and importance to the club did not feel forgotten. But it was Fotheringham who Maloney singled out for special mention. Speaking about the support Jota has received, Maloney said, "Fozzy is the most positive guy in the world. He's been really, really good with him. But also Martin. Martin's been really, really good with him in terms of constantly being in communication." Those words tell you a lot about what kind of environment O'Neill and his staff have built at Lennoxtown. The infrastructure around injured players, the human element of keeping someone mentally engaged during a period when the football completely stops, these things matter enormously. Jota returned to the training pitch on Friday and was spotted working with the group at Lennoxtown, though a competitive return is not expected until around October. The road has been long. The support around him has clearly made a real difference. Now for the main story, as Sean Maloney has given the clearest signal yet that Haisam Hassan could be the final piece in Celtic's attacking jigsaw this summer, hinting that signing one more specialist winger might be all that is needed to complete the squad. Maloney addressed the transfer situation directly in his press conference this morning. Celtic News understands a deal for the Real Oviedo winger is progressing well, though a handful of details still need to be resolved between the clubs before it can be finalised. Speaking about the wide areas, Maloney said, "I'm not sure how close it is. I know there's a lot of things in the media, but I'm not sure how close either is. On that right side, I think if we get one in with a certain profile and we keep everyone, I think that might be enough. But I think we have to wait and see. I think the job that Yang did, Seb Tengstedt can play off the right. We've got young Sean McArdle coming through. We've got James Forrest. I think what we want is to feel like the 9 position where it's like, this is really difficult to see who's starting." That is a significant statement. Rather than talking about multiple signings or an ongoing search, Maloney is framing one quality addition as potentially enough to close the door on that particular recruitment need. The context matters. Camilo Duran started on the right wing in the opening day win over Dundee, but O'Neill admitted afterwards it was not the Colombian's natural position. Hassan, who played in La Liga with Real Oviedo last season and featured for Egypt at the World Cup this summer, fits the specialist wide profile the club has been searching for. If the deal gets done, Maloney's comments suggest it would bring Celtic's wide recruitment to a close. The remaining window time can then be focused on dealing with the ongoing Arne Engels and Alistair Johnston situations. In other news, new signing Casper Tengstedt has been making an immediate impression on his Celtic teammates since arriving at Lennoxtown, with defender Austin Trusty giving a warm insight into what the Danish striker has been like behind the scenes since completing his club record move. Tengstedt made his competitive debut in the opening day 1-0 win over Dundee, leading the line and getting into several good positions without finding the net. But it is his personality in training and around the dressing room that has already won people over. Trusty, who partnered Cameron Carter-Vickers in central defence in that game with Liam Scales suspended, spoke enthusiastically about his new teammate. He said, "He seems like a really just like high on life kind of guy, and that's my type of person, so we'll get along very, very well. He's just a happy dude. He's just happy to be here, like genuinely happy to be here. So that's good to see. You need that kind of energy, and also, I like that kind of person. I vibe well off that too." Ho spoke openly after joining about fulfilling a dream by moving to Celtic Park, and was reportedly emotional, saying goodbye to his former teammates at Bodo Glimt. It is clear that desire and appreciation for being at the club has been obvious to the players around him from day one. Goals will come. His movement and work rate on his debut gave every reason for optimism. But before any of that, he has already done the most important thing a new signing can do. He has walked into the building and made people around him feel better for having him there. In other news, Johnny Kenny's chances of a return to Bolton Wanderers this summer are in doubt after the Championship club's manager, Steven Schumacher, admitted he is not sure his club can afford to bring the Celtic striker back. Kenny spent the second half of last season on loan at Bolton and made an excellent impression. He scored 6 goals and contributed important assists as the club secured promotion to the Championship. Though injury cruelly cut his involvement short before the playoff campaign, Schumacher has been openly complimentary about the Irish forward and did not hide his admiration in comments to the Bolton News this morning. He said, "He was a real bonus for us, a plus when we signed him in January. He came in, made a huge impact, scored some really important goals for us, got some assists, and he's a player who, again, I've said I would love to work with again because he was a brilliant character." Now, whether we can make that happen again, I'm not sure. I don't know whether we can financially afford it. The financial reality of Championship football is clearly placing limits on what Bolton can do this window. Schumacher also acknowledged uncertainty over whether Kenny would be available from Celtic, either on loan or permanently. At Celtic, the 23-year-old faces a significant challenge regardless of where he ends up. The arrivals of Camilo Duran and club record signing Casper Tengstedt, plus the continued presence of Callum Osmond, have made the attacking competition considerably fiercer. Kenny was also notably absent from Celtic's squad number list for the new season, which is rarely a good sign for a player's place in the manager's plans. A decision on his future is coming, whether that is another loan, a permanent move, or an unexpected return to the first-team picture at Celtic Park remains to be seen. Lastly, former Celtic defender Fuhr Hjelde is set to join Belgian Pro League club KV Mechelen on a permanent deal, bringing the curtain down on a Celtic connection that began more than 7 years ago when he signed his first professional contract at Parkhead as a 15-year-old. Hjelde arrived at Celtic in July 2019 as one of the most exciting young Norwegian prospects in European football. The word in the game at the time was that he had the tools to reach the very top. Former Celtic defender and manager John Hughes, who gave Hjelde his senior debut during a loan spell at Ross County in 2021, was emphatic about his potential. He said at the time, "Leo is going to be the next Van Dijk, trust me on that." The quality he has shown, the physical challenge, playing real men's football and standing up to it, it's been a wonderful experience for Leo. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.